So I just thought I'd give a little update. I haven't been on the bench for the last 4 months. I've been busy in the garage wrenching on cars. This is probably pretty typical of what I've been doing. So this car was brought to me, and it's kind of turned into a Frankenstein nightmare. It came with a leaking power steering hose, and the guy wanted it changed. He wanted me to change it for him. I said, yeah, sure, no problem, bring it over. And then this car is new to him, so he's a new driver. He just bought the car off his buddy. It's a 2001 Honda Accord rust bucket. You can see the rust here. All along the bottom it's rust. Everywhere you look on it's rust. But it's his first car, and he's happy to have it. And he brought it to me, and he says, check it over. If you see anything else, no problem, fix it, and we'll get some money to you. So I says, okay, I'll do the hose. So he arrived with the hose, and he also arrived with a timing belt kit, and he also arrived with motor mounts, and he also arrived with a bunch of other stuff too. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a bigger job than I first thought. So this hose was a pain to change. Down on the steering rack, there's no place to get my hand in. It looks like there's lots of room, but I got big mitts, and there's no place for them. So yeah, that was a struggle. I finally got that hose replaced. He did the pump himself. I don't know why he replaced the pump. Well, the symptom was no power steering, but there was also no fluid. So, because of the leak. So, first thing he did was replace the pump. Totally unnecessary, but he did it anyway. And then he put a new pump on it, and it was burping fluids, and the fluids were coming out the reservoir. So he decided to put a new reservoir on too. So this is kind of throwing parts at it. He really doesn't know what to do, and he's just learning. So he finally figured out it was the hose. He bought a new hose. It's not even the right hose because the bolts hole don't line up. This bolt, there's no way to get a bolt in there. But whatever, it's not leaking, so it's good. So just leave it. Anyways, the story is, yeah, he brought it to me. Could you please change the hose? Yes, okay. And then he brought a timing belt kit, which in itself wasn't too bad. I kind of actually enjoyed that part of the job, to remove the covers. Actually, I removed everything. I removed the motor mount, power steering, I removed the alternator, took it all out because I like having lots of room to work. I don't like cutting my hands up on things, and my hands are already cut up enough already. So I did all that, and then I replaced the motor mount down there. I think you can see a new motor mount. Here's the old one, so that's gone. And then I start looking the car over and pull the front wheels off, and oh, you need ball joints. Ball joints are shot. So I ended up putting on new ball joints. Here's the old ball joints. Not much left of that one. And this one too is pretty much shot. This is the lower one. It's actually not bad condition yet. You could probably still get a few miles out of it, but here to replace that one. Here's the belts. You can see the cracking going on in the belts. This is the original Honda belt. And then for the balance shafts, that belt is cracked as well, so they both needed replacing. But we're not done. Here we had some wiring that was hacked. Somebody fixed it all up now, but they had the wiring cut, the harness cut, and there was like what was there, 7 or 8 wires. They peeled back the insulation, and they spliced them together just by twisting, and it was running over here, and it was shorting out on this bolt, and it was all a mess. So I took the time and soldered the wires, spliced them, insulated them with shrink wrap, and tucked that all in there. So that's all fixed. That was for the air conditioning wiring, something to do with the air conditioning, and some of the lighting wiring. I don't know, there's stuff going on here I don't want to even look at because, yeah, there's still a mystery. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. A new water pump went in, and a new valve cover gasket, and new spark plugs whoever put spark plugs in here last time really messed up. Let me show you. Okay, we got 4 plugs. They're all NGK, 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 NGK. This NGK is green. These 3 are blue. So whoever replaced the plugs replaced 3 and left this one. This is an original one. I don't know if you can see how worn that is. It's got like a 70 or 60 or 70 thousandths gap on it. It's wide open. And the other ones are actually, the other 3 are actually pretty decent. They're still usable, but I replaced all 4. I don't know if you can see that in the sun. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, that was not bad. That was not bad. But none of these 4 were tight. They were all loose. And especially this one here, it was so loose that the combustion gases were getting out, and the spark plug boot had, I had to clean it because it was all covered in exhaust crap. So yeah, 4 loose spark plugs, and that went for quite a while. There's quite a few miles on these plugs, so whoever did that, I don't know, it wasn't very good. So this is the latest discovery. I was getting it ready to send the car back to the guy, and I noticed there's a leak back here, and it's coming from right here on the back. Here are the back wheels. There's a fuel, I think there's a fuel pump here somewhere, I don't know. And then there's all these lines. So this is all fuel, 2 fuel lines. One's a supply and one's a return. And then there's another 3rd line, I think it might be a vent, not sure. And then there's a couple of brake lines. And one of the brake lines popped a leak. And they're all rusted, like everything's rusted. I don't know, you can see how badly rusted it is. All these lines are all shot. Right here, look at this. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to fix this. I can't give the car back to him like this because this is ridiculous. It's leaking brake fluid. So I'll have to get this line patched. But looking here, there's really no place here. Here's the line comes out and it runs along here, and it's all rusty. So I have to find a spot where there's some good meat to tap into, and then I can splice a new line in. I'm probably just going to splice the leaking one, and I'll let him know about the rest. And he's going to have to deal with them in the future because I'm not going to spend the rest of my life replacing lines. You know, that's pretty serious stuff here. So, and then have a look at this. Here's the exhaust comes down from the manifold, and there's somebody cut the catalytic and it's missing. Put a piece of straight pipe in, and then they sputter welded. Tried sputter welding it, and put a muffler clamp on there. If you go down, follow it. There's another joint. Follow the exhaust. Another joint. Oh, they got to size it up here because it's going to get big. So they could put some pieces on to boost the diameter. And look at the hangers they used. Actually here there's no hangers, no hangers, no hangers, no hangers, no hangers. Nothing holding this pipe up from the exhaust manifold all the way to the back of the car. And then they got one crappy hanger here. And then they got a fart pipe. And then out the back, I'll show you out the back. So here's the suspension I was talking about. And it doesn't look very good. And then here's the money shot. So next up is this turd. I bought this at an auction back in May. It's a 2020 Escape, all-wheel drive. It's basically the kind of car I was looking for, but it's got problems. So like I said, I bought it at an auction, and for the most part it ran pretty good. I had some problems to fix. The driver's door was messed up. The door stop broke, and that in turn bent up the window track, and the window wouldn't go down. So I had to go in there and straighten everything out and fix it all up. But the problem with this thing is the torque converter is shot. in the transmission. So I have to pull the transmission out, and it's all under there somewhere. So this is going to be, it's got the 8F35 8-speed transmission. I got all the parts sitting on my garage floor and just waiting for time. If I can get this Honda out of the way, I can do this. I don't expect it's going to take too long. It'll probably take a day to take the transmission out because I've never done it before. You're always got to account for that. And then I got a full rebuild kit. I'm going to replace the torque converter, and since I got it out, I might as well replace all the frictions and all the seals and stuff. So I'll go do that as well. So it'll probably get a full rebuild, and then I'll put it back in, and then that should be the end of it. This should be ready to go. And well, it still needs tires. I have tires for it, but yeah, this is a lot of work. So yeah, there's my whole summer eaten up by working on vehicles for friends and family, doing that kind of stuff. More like this every day out here. So plan on getting back to the bench in September and getting new videos out. I do have some videos in the can, but I don't know, the content's not the greatest, so I was kind of maybe holding back on it. I could put them out there, but I got some complaints about stale content, so whatever, you guys can wait then. Yeah, I'll get back to it here. I got some interesting stuff lined up for the bench. I've been putting off repairs, and I've been telling clients to hold off until the fall. So alright, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Take care.